Happy holidays, everyone. I'm Beth Outland, and I am delighted to be here with Maestro Jack Everly, who has been conducting our annual Yuletide celebration for 25 years. Jack, it is so good to see you.
Thanks, Beth. It's great to be with you.
So 25 years is a long time. What got you involved with our Yuletide celebration?
Well, 25 years ago, I was still in New York City. I had gone from Broadway musicals to being the music director for American Ballet Theater. And it was the fall of '94. The producer of Yuletide Celebration, Ty Johnson, wanted to interview me and a couple other conductors in New York for Yuletide Celebration. And so we interviewed, and he told me what it was, and I thought, gee, this sounds great. Indiana is my home state. This sounds like a combination of all the disciplines that I love, musical theater, etc. Not to mention, it's with this incredible orchestra that I, of course, have known about since I was a kid growing up in Richmond. Long story, but 1994 was my very first Yuletide celebration.
Why is Yuletide something that you feel like you can come back and revisit every year?
Because I've always loved the music of the season, for one thing. And as I said, this show is this unique combination of all the disciplines of great symphonic orchestra music, arrangements, rethinking the production every year, costumes, choreography. It's a great team.
What would you like people to know about the team and the collaborative nature, what it takes to put something like this together?
Our great orchestra and the stage crew and the wardrobe people and you name it, they all come together. And it's that wonderful sense I used to have when I was doing Broadway shows. We're a family. We come together to perform for our public, and we all have the best time doing it.
So do you have any specific favorite Yuletide memories?
It has to be my very first Yuletide because I was so blown away by the show. I'd only heard about it, and I knew it was, all these different disciplines of dance and singing and orchestra playing. I had no idea, though, just how incredible it was. This is going to be a legacy for the ISO, the Indiana community, and it's a challenge and an honor, and we love it.
How do you feel at the helm of a show like that that's going to impact so many people across generations?
My dad used to come see this show when I first started doing it, and he always said to me, it's really exciting. The show's great. Yeah, fine, you're terrific. But you know what's really exciting for me, Dad used to say, seeing all those kids in the lobby before the show, all dressed up. They came here with their parents, and they're having this wonderful family experience. I love that. I become so energized by that. It just permeates my whole being in creating the show and then in doing every performance, 8, 10 shows a week for the entire month of December.
Well, that's beautiful. And you're making memories for so many people, which is extraordinary. It's such a privilege to do that. Is there something about your childhood or growing up that gives you a particular affinity for this holiday?
Yes, our house was always filled with music. My mom played the piano, and then, of course, thanks to recordings, my dad was crazy about collecting records, and naturally, holiday music was among those recordings. And then I found, Firestone used to release and record new arrangements of holiday music every December. They did that for 7 years. I still have those. So I used to listen to these new versions of Christmas carols, etc., with the likes of Vic Damone, Leontine Price, Julie Andrews, and the Firestone Chorus and Orchestra. And that told me that this wonderful music could also sound symphonic. And that laid the groundwork for me and the way I heard music from a very early age. So I get to experience that memory every time I do the show.
One of the things you do very well is finding gorgeous ways to showcase the orchestra as an ensemble, as well as individual orchestra members. What is your mindset and your approach in showcasing the orchestra and the individuals from the orchestra?
Well, you have to keep in mind the arc of the entire show and how you're pacing the entire show, Act 1, Act 2, and then you also keep in mind your audiences. Why are they here? What are their expectations? And they come for the show, and they come for the orchestra. So you strike that balance, and you find out what is this moment in the show, what is the energy that we need from the orchestra to fulfill this. Sometimes it may be as calm and inspiring as Away in a Manger. that we did a couple years ago as arranged by the great Carmen Dragon. Other times you'll want something that's really up and zippy, like Here We Go a Caroling. We have lots of different dynamics to fulfill when it comes to featuring the orchestra in the best possible sense.
You also have this insight into what's happening backstage while that production is going on. If you could have people see any part of the backstage process, what do you think they would find fascinating?
The frenzy of it, because, and I know what's happening in the wings. When one production number is finished and everyone, leaves the stage, lots of applause, and someone else is coming on for the next number, there is a flurry of costume changes, microphone changes, wig changes, everything that needs to happen, and it has to happen very fast.
There are bound to be unexpected occurrences, right?
No, we're always perfect, but one does come to mind. We were in the middle of, I don't know, it was a certain number in the second act, and suddenly, for no apparent reason, it started to snow on stage, and what happened was someone had triggered the cue for the snow machines. I think it was Sandy, who was the hostess that year. She kind of looked up, she was singing, and she kind of looked up and saw the snow happening when it wasn't supposed to. And of course, the audience doesn't know it's not supposed to happen. So it wasn't one of those moments that stopped the show, but it was a moment that we had great amusement with.
Next year will be the 35th year of Yuletide celebration. So I'm dying to know, are you willing to give us any little hints or previews about what you have in store for the 35th year?
Well, Sandy Patty will be back as our hostess, and that's exciting because she is magnificent and truly a force of nature with talent, not to mention, I don't know, she's kind of the spirit of Yuletide in so many ways. We adore her, love working with her. Charles Yang will be one of our musical guests, and this is an incredible talent that we are putting with the show for the very first time. There will be a few other surprises that, well, they wouldn't be surprises if I explained them now, would they? And of course, some of the very wonderful traditional moments as well.
Well, Yuletide has brought so much joy to so many people over the years. And Jack, we can't wait for 2021. We can all be together in the theater again.
Trust me, it's magic worth the wait.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for spending time with us today,
You're
Jack.
very welcome.